It's the M&M Funky Five Jive with Mike and Mel, the short and sweet podcast where they dive into toys, kids, and all the chaos in between. Packed with tips, stories, and unsolicited opinions because, let's face it, they've got plenty. And hey, their opinions are their own, so save your whining for someone who cares. Now let's get to it. Time to play with Mike and Mel.
But they're not related to us.
Gotcha. All right. Well, tell me about this this game. I looked online. You sent me the link of that. Well, you sent us the link on when you emailed. It looks super fun.
Yeah, it's a young kids game basically, but we've had even my 88-year-old dad playing it when we were up in Chicago. We went to the Chicago Toy Fair, and we debuted it up there
end of 2023.
2023, right. So we've been in business about a year and a half, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And but the game stemmed from basically me taking just spare materials at my house with my kids 20 plus years ago, and making this game when they were stuck inside. We had all these kids over, and it was a rainy day. And back then I was living in California. And we started throwing the game around and acting out the animals, and then we had one side that we all yelled, Chika Chaka, yo, 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 go, 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 and the kids had a blast, and we played it all the time. We took it to
Birthday parties, cookouts.
Yeah, the park, play dates, all that stuff. And people would have us bring it, and some of my friends even made their own versions for their kids. But then it just kind of sat for years. And about 2 years ago, we were thinking about different venues. We're both getting toward a retirement age. And we thought, well, maybe we could take this thing to like one of the toy fairs, like New York. And we realized that you can't just show up with a toy and say, we want to make this. So Melissa dove in, man, and she got all the business stuff put together. So we are completely legit. I, on the other hand, was working with the design and a manufacturer, and I found all that, which it was manufactured eventually in China. And then we debuted it at that Chicago Toy Fair, and started like visiting other venues and trying to get it in stores and sell it individually. And eventually, now we're in the Children's Museum here. We've got 2 stores in town. Go ahead.
We've got 4 Kids Toys and Books in Zionsville, and then Kits and Caboodle in Carmel. So those are the 3 around here. And then we've got about 6 other venues, but they're out of state.
Right. So we joined this group called Astra, which is a independent toy sellers association, and we went to that convention and got in a handful of other stores. But this is all new to us, so we're just kind of figuring it out as we go. And now we've got in inquiries. The Indianapolis Zoo seems interested, but that's a big thing, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
No, I was just commenting. I said that's super fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, as a matter of fact, yesterday we sent a bunch of samples out, or just recently, to some of the larger stores. We're kind of concentrating on stuff like Cracker Barrels and Buc-ee's, if you know that franchise. Yeah. So we've got a bunch of stuff happening. It just is a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
But anyway, that's kind of the backstory. What do you think?
Now, yeah, that's perfect. Now, one of the things that I noticed that I really loved about it, I'm going to assume that this is something that you would advertise for, is that so many kids games require them to, sit at a board, or, you know what I mean? Like they have to, or the park game or whatever. This allows them to play, but also kind of get all that energy out. Was that what you were doing 20 years ago?
Yeah, it was. Melissa's got a lot on this because she, well, go ahead.
Well, yeah. What makes this great is that it doesn't have small pieces. It's a single game. and you can free play or you can keep score. So
And there's no screens, no batteries,
Right,
no electronics.
right, and you can take it on vacation. You can play it inside. You can play it outside, and so
You can even wash it.
We were even thinking, well, kids get so attached to their screens. So how could you ever break them away and say, hey, let's play this? But what we said is, it's not really to get them off screens permanently. It's just a break. So if, you say to your kid, hey, let's take 10 minutes to take a screen break. While we do, let's play Chika Chaka. And then maybe 10 minutes turns into an hour. And then maybe that hour goes by and they go, Mom, I want to take a nap because they're so tired. And you get a break. So
I don't know, playing that for an hour, I think I'd be worn out.
I know everybody'd be worn out. But
we played it up at the convention. It was hilarious because I'm 61 now. And we're jumping around with these kids for 7-8 hours, and we were wiped.
Oh, I'll bet.
But we've had people send us like comments and friends and people that have bought it, talking about how they got it out like at Thanksgiving that year because the convention was around Thanksgiving, and they're like, we got it out, and there's like 2-3 toddlers or whatever, but then the whole family played and they just had a blast. And so that's the kind of engagement, we want to get everybody involved, and it brings families together, or it brings friends together where you're not just playing a video game
staring at the TV.
We're not anti that, but too much. Yeah, you get it.
I do. I get it, and I think that you don't have to be anti-screen. People, we all, across the world say, what have we done here? They're on screens constantly, and we're always looking for things like that. So that's what stuck out to me when I saw how it's played. Oh, we're getting physical activity. We're getting them, get all that energy out. Getting up, and creativity. They're going to have to think and act out something, and you know what I mean. All good for their brain and their bodies, and so
exactly. Awesome. You're on it.
Yep, and
you want to be our spokesperson to help us
out. we actually did a little bit of research, and there's so much to support the tenets that Chika Chaka, promotes. They talk about kids under 7 and the
developmental,
the neural pathways that they develop as they're growing, and how social skills and creativity and this free play and trying to formulate problem solving, it all happens in that under 7, and that's what this game is geared toward. But of course anybody can play, and so it's so important for them to learn these things at an early age, learn how to share, it's so and so's turn. So we were really just thrilled that something so simple could have such an impact and potentially have an impact.
Yeah, definitely.
And this is just version 1. We've got a mechanical version that's going to have like or transportation or whatever. It's got like airplanes and helicopters and race cars and that kind of thing. And then just this week we were like, what about a pool version where you've got a dolphin, they could play it in the pool and stuff. Yeah. So and then we've got an autistic niece, and she is not physically interactive in that way, but she could do like the facial expressions. And we thought about doing that because one of our other family members is a developmental, what do you call her? Not psychologist, but teacher of some kind. Yeah. And she works with a lot of disabled kids in different kind of situations. And so through that, we found that teachers, especially preschools and even up from there, will use it like as an icebreaker to get the kids involved and talking and taking turns. Like, you throw it over there, they got to act like a monkey, but then they got to tell you something or whatever.
Yeah.
So for us, it's a lot of fun, and it's become a business where at first we were thinking hobby, but now it's really taken off.
I'm just saying, it's safe to tell people they can go to the Chika Chaka website, or they can go to Amazon and order a game there.
Right. But, honestly, going through our website to Amazon's better, because we are having huge problems with Amazon because it's called Chika Chaka, but when you do a search, you get Chika Chaka Boom Boom.
Okay.
And you cannot find our game.
And we've been trying to work with them to fix that, but we're not having much luck.
But if you go to the website and hit the Amazon link, it'll take you directly to we've got like a Amazon store.
Okay, so I'm going to send them to your website and go from there.
Right, and so they have the option to buy it directly from the website where we ship it out, and then if they go to Amazon, and it's also on TikTok stores.
Okay.
And that actually, we just did our first live this week, and we were funny because we just look like a couple old people on the millennials platform doing a TikTok live, but we had so much fun and we had a lot of response, but we were so stupid. We didn't know we had to pin our product, so nobody bought anything.
Okay.
And we just didn't understand the venue or the
and we
setup.
didn't plan. We just winged it.
We just did it
to break the ice,
Yeah.
And so we've actually got experience with it now. And then last week we were on Indy Now in the morning show on Channel 59 and played with those guys. We've been on Channel 8 last year. And then we're going to the Indy 500 Kids Day next Saturday the 10th.
Okay.
And we've got a booth on the Circle. And that's a free venue. We'll be selling them there. We'll be selling them at a discount there.
It's funny that you mentioned TikTok, and that, like you said, you're at the very beginning stages of it, so it's all like live and learn as you go through. But I just want you to know you're not alone. When you said that you had a TikTok live and that you could order it there, my daughter just said she's 12.
Yeah.
And she just asked me if she could order some stuff from TikTok. And I said, no, we do not order from TikTok. I didn't know that was it's a legitimate store.
It's totally legit and it's safe. We've got it set up so you can do like a PayPal so you don't have to worry about your credit card. But TikTok, I'll tell you what, TikTok is a better venue than any of the other ones for people in small business like us.
Well, you just became her favorite person.
Okay. And we've got a YouTube channel too that we did we're starting to put. I used to work in animation years ago, and we're putting together these funny little 5-minute animations for each animal. The first one is out there. It's called Bob the Bird, and it's our daughter whose name is Hannah, and she's 22, and she's Hannah Banana the host. And we did this great. Wait till you see it. You'll crack up. It's so ridiculously amateurish yet cool. You know,
we did that on purpose.
Yeah. So we took these little dolls on sticks and had them dancing around, and it's just we think it's funny. but we're doing the next one on the monkey. We're gonna do one for each animal, little 5-minute videos. And then we've got, Melissa, tell her all the other stuff you got on there.
Yeah, then also, in addition, we have a podcast. We just finished our first season. It's called the M&M Funky Five Jive. And so that's just an opportunity for people to get to know us as people.
Okay.
Because, people buy from businesses they trust. And since we're a small business, we'd like for people to know what we're about too. And I'm a Gen Xer, Mike's a tail end baby boomer. And so a lot of the material kind of appeals to the adults who are the parents and grandparents of these kids that we're marketing to. So we've got that. We try to post on all the social media platforms every day. Like Mike said, we have these animated shorts that we're going to be releasing one by one. Momo the monkey, we just filmed, but we'll be putting that together in the coming weeks. So we're just trying to kind of come from all angles to help out everybody in this community of people who want, connective play and back to basics play.
Absolutely.
A lot of effort, really.
I get that. Okay, so we talked about when the last question I had was just about growth. And I know you talked about we can take this toy and go in a zillion different directions of the same product.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that like where the next step is being, or are you imagining like creating new toys? What's the thought process on the future here?
Well, as far as the Chika Chaka brand goes, we want to have multiple variations. Like with Costco, we'd like to get like 2 or 3 different variations so we can do a multi-pack, that kind of, because that's the way they sell. And so I think we're mostly excited about the transportation version, especially with the Indy 500 and the race car on it and all that stuff.
We think that now.
Oh, I'm just designing it right now. So that's probably within the year, maybe hopefully within 6 months. It depends what kind of buzz we get, with the first version. We've got enough stock here to last us a little while. We had our first manufacturing run last year, and we've got a pretty good stock built up to sell and to promote. But we're going to take it to the next level because right now, we did it kind of on this as good as we could for what we knew. Now we know we can do better packaging and we can, But as far as the company goes, neither one of us ever plan on retiring for real. So for us, we even had people at the conventions with other toys that they had created come to us and say, would your company like to represent our toy? And that would be a really cool growth thing for us.
We're just kind of taking it one step at a time to see, but we're open to anything at this point. We just want to continue to support our basic line of creating bonding moments with families and just
clean, safe fun.
Yeah, clean, safe fun, and helping kids develop and shine. And we'll just kind of see what comes out of that.
Yeah, we're not interested in like just throwing out, like random stuff. We want there to be something meaningful about it.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. It's so good to meet you, and you have a great afternoon.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Perfect.
Awesome.